Hello everybody, it's CJ, and this past Saturday I decided to quit my job. Now, I still have one shift remaining. I just worked last night. I did give my 2 weeks notice, which in the kind of job I have, we're Subway for pizza. For my job, 2 weeks was not necessary, so my boss just said, can you finish the shifts you're scheduled for? And that's that. It was a very amicable separation. It was absolutely fine. There was no ill will on either end. At least if my boss has any ill will, then she hides it very well. But it was just really, really stressing me out on top of school, because I would have work and then I would have a bunch of school stuff due, and then there would also be a bunch of social events on Friday. And I just want to clarify, all my unhappiness with my job is nothing against any of the people. It truly was just overlapping circumstances. I have a ton of testing coming up. That's the main reason I decided to quit rather than just toughing it out, is because the ACT is coming up soon. The ACT is next week, or not next week, week after next week, week after spring break. And then I have the AP test after that. And then it's all the PSEO stuff, because I'm going to do PSEO. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for that. So lots of school things going on. And I didn't see either work or school getting better in this time frame. And I've also kind of thought about switching jobs. It's not really exactly making a lateral career shift here. I don't need the income from my job because I barely spend any money, and I was barely making any money. So there's that. I had been there for a couple months in fast food. The turnover is very high, so being there for a couple months, probably about, so it's okay, that doesn't scream I got hired and then after 2 weeks I quit. Quit during testing, which is a big thing, so that also doesn't scream I'm just gonna quit when things get tough. But also, give a 2 weeks notice, even if you don't think you're gonna need the job back, just because it's really good to not burn bridges. It's if you're in a situation like mine, if you've wanted to quit for a while because it's really stressful, it's you can deal with it for another week, and then also it will probably be easier. Just because when you know it's going to be over, it's kind of easier to deal with stress. So yeah, but give notice. It doesn't necessarily have to be the super formal 2 weeks notice, but give notice, because A, it doesn't put your boss in a really difficult situation, and B, if you give notice and there's a 50% chance they'll say they just want you to finish your remaining shifts or whatever, then it's great, be super good, be the best employee ever, and then you have a really good reference if you're gonna apply somewhere else. Or if you want your job back, there's a decent possibility I'd go back in the summer. I don't think so. It feels really weird to be leaving, because it's kind of funny, because just the time it freed up is very minimal. I was getting 3 hours a week, but for school I was getting the worst possible schedule, because I was barely getting any hours for work, and then it was right when school's the most difficult. So for me, it made more sense to just quit rather than trying to figure out a new schedule, which that's that. However, that's kind of the reasoning. So I actually feel quite good about quitting, because it's very weird, because the actual time it freed up is barely anything, but the mental real estate it freed up is actually quite a lot. Kind of freed up a lot of mental real estate to no longer have to think about it. It's kind of the this is it. This is going to be over. My spring break is actually going to be a spring break, which is just, it's really mentally freeing. And I'm in a situation where I got a job before I needed a job, because I wanted to get the experience of how to get a job, if that makes any sense. Because I actually, to be honest, I actually kind of did it because of like subconscious, like peer pressure, I guess. Because like pretty much, like a lot of my friends were getting jobs, and so I felt kind of left out. But it was a really good learning experience. It built up a lot of confidence in myself and like my capabilities. So no regrets about getting a job. But it's like I got a job before I actually needed the income. I kept the same lifestyle I had before I was making any income. Like, unlike most of my coworkers and most of my peers, having a job was not about getting income. So quitting my job, losing income is not that important. But anyway, so I got a job for the learning experience. I got the learning experience. It started stressing me out a whole lot, to have work and school during the big testing season. So yeah, that's kind of why I quit. But kind of moving on to the next stage of life, and this may or may not be my, like, this might be my first and last, like, fast food retail type job. Probably not. I'll probably end up having some sort of intermediate step. But I'm honestly not sure when I'm going to get a job. Again, freelance work is very tempting. So I'm definitely considering just biding my time until I'm 18 and then doing a bunch of freelance type stuff, like, you know, do a Fiverr and Etsy or something like that. Or I might end up like working at Target, or I might end up doing like a paid internship, or I might just not do random things like eBay and then do like college, because right now my main priority is student. That was kind of one thing of like, don't, like, nothing gets in the way of being a student. You know how there's like straight A student? What's the like straight A minus student thing where it's like it's all A minus, like we're almost there. So I'm kind of an A minus type student. But like school's number one. I'm doing PSEO next year, so I don't know how stressful it's going to be, and I don't know if it's going to make sense to do a job on top of that. Though having a job did teach me a lot about the way I handle stress and kind of what I'm even looking for in a future career. However, it was a good experience. It was like an easy job, but it is just kind of a weird thing to think about. So I'm not sure, because PSEO basically like kind of makes sense to be putting full energy into. It's all scary. It goes on your college transcript. It's a big deal. So I'm not sure if it'll make sense to have a job while doing that. We'll see. This is the next a new part of my life, I guess. So bye.